First released in Soul Fusion, Salamangreat is an archetype of Fire Cyber's monsters that specialize in recursion and reincarnation, summoning a monster using itself as material. This takes the form of a mid-range deck that aims to control the field with their powerful traps as they continue to recover cards from the graveyard, pulling a hidden card advantage and ending the game with their powerful boss monsters. Once so powerful as well as budget-friendly deck due to the fantastic Soul Burner structure deck, Salamangreat returns with a new wave of support, bringing with it some interesting cards to the strategy that may bring it back from the dead. Getting into the list, we immediately see the first new addition to the deck, Salamangreat of Fire, a level 2 monster that if summoned can search for a level 4 or lower Salamangreat monster, at the cost of locking into fire monsters for the rest of the turn. Although this locks us out of cards like Excess Cold Darker, it gives us a 1-card combo that sets up an interruption as well as getting our important Salamangreats into our graveyard. It also has a second effect to banish itself from the graveyard to destroy our Cyber's monster when it battles. This is mostly a nifty comeback trick to stop ourselves from taking battle damage, but it also can be used to trigger the effect of our new Link 4 that we will get into later. The rest of the deck is roughly the same as before. We have Gazelle, which is the key monster of the deck that can special summon itself from our hand when a Salamangreat is sent to our graveyard, as well as sending a Salamangreat card from our deck to the graveyard when summoned. We also run Foxy as our secondary normal summon, as well as Spinny and Jack Jaguar, monsters that can special summon themselves from the graveyard for essentially free. But now we also have the brand new Salamangreat Weasel, a level 3 that can special summon itself if you have 2 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard. And if a Salamangreat Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster is special summoned, it can put itself from the graveyard on the bottom of your deck to special summon a Salamangreat from your graveyard to your opponent's field and draw a card. As for the rest of our monsters, we have the standard hand trap lineup, Maxi, Ash Blossom, and Effect Veilers. For our spells and traps, we're running Salamangreat Sanctuary, the field spell of the deck. It allows us to link summon a Salamangreat by only using itself, as well as Salamangreat Circle and Cyanide Mining, the consistency cards of the deck. We run Call by the Grave, Cross-Side Designator, and Triple Tactics Talent to help us play through hand traps, as well as a few extra hand traps with infinite impermanence. Lastly, we have our archetypal traps. Salamangreat Roar is our counter trap on the negate that can reset itself from the graveyard if we reincarnate a Salamangreat Link monster. On the other hand, Salamangreat Rage allows us to either send a Salamangreat monster from the hand or field to the graveyard to target and destroy a card, or if we control a reincarnated Link monster, destroy cards up to its rating instead. For the extra deck, we still run the usual monsters. Salamangreat Mirage Stallion, or rank 3 that special summons Salamangreat from our deck and bounces a card when it uses Link material. Salamangreat Bale Links, our Link one that searches the field spell and can banish itself from the graveyard to protect the Salamangreat cards from destruction. As well as Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, a Link 2 that can recover a fire monster from the graveyard if a monster is summoned to a zone it points to, and can recover Salamangreat spells or traps once per turn if reincarnated. For our Link 3s, we run Salamangreat Heat Leo and Decode Talker Heat Soul, and the new Salamangreat Raging Phoenix is our primary Link 4. If reincarnated, it allows us to add any Salamangreat card from our deck to our hand, allowing us to search for interruptions, making this our primary target to reincarnate with Sanctuary. In addition, if our fire monsters destroy our Raging Phoenixes in the graveyard, it can special summon itself from the graveyard and gain the attack of the destroyed monster. Notably, it does not banish itself when it leaves the field, allowing it to come back over and over again, making it quite a nuisance to get rid of. Finally, we have a small package of Update Jammer, Splash Mage, and Access Code Talker, giving us an OTK line for the turns where we don't lock ourselves into fire monsters. As you can see from the gameplay, Salamangreat is surprisingly competent with the new cards. Salamangreat of Fire gives them a 1-card starter that they can easily search, allowing them to set up 1 interruption with follow-up at minimum, thanks in large part due to Raging Phoenix allowing them to search their traps, something they previously could not do without dedicating the Gazelle. In addition, Raging Phoenix may just be a beta, but it's a beta that keeps coming back for free, allowing Salamangreat to take over the game once removal has been exhausted, giving them a win condition outside of relying on excess code Taka. That being said, the new support isn't without its flaws. Due to the reliance on Salamangreat of Fire and the resulting Fire lock, Salamangreat loses its ability to splash and access generic Cyberse cards, making the deck that much more linear and predictable. However, the deck can still hold its own and the new cards really hone in on what Salamangreat was meant to be, a recursive mid-range deck that just keeps coming back from the brink.